Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks! What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another short little unboxing video to share with you guys. So these CJRB boxes are uncharacteristically heavy, which piqued my interest because usually CJRB knives are nowhere near as heavy as these boxes. My first thought was they must have done another version of the proponent, but that's not what this is. This is a model that I have never handled, and I'm excited because big, chunky, heavy knives, while usually impractical and cumbersome, tend to be kind of fun. So, especially when it's, a CJRB knife that's clearly not going to be incredibly expensive. I will link these down in the description, whatever they are. You guys can check these knives out if you want to. It does help my channel when you use those links, but that's up to you. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. Thanks to CJRB for sending these in. Make sure your notifications are turned on for the Metal Complex YouTube channel. So what is this called? It's called the Tundra. Stonewash D2 with green. And what's this other one? This is the Tundra Black D2 Black G10. So let's do the non-ultra tactical version. The Tundra. Gosh, you're a big old thing. Oh, wait. Who did this? It is kind of proponent-y. It is kind of. Do we have a little pin? Yeah. This is definitely kind of in the same family as the proponent. A big, kind of overbuilt, looks like, is it D2? Yeah. Number one, even though it's D2, I appreciate CJRB using something else besides AR RPM 9. There's nothing wrong with AR RPM 9, but you guys have dedicated your entire line to it. Like, it seems like every budget artisan in CJRB is AR RPM 9. There are other steels. Certainly the majority of the steels that we find at this price point, when it's a company who, actually cares about the people buying their stuff, are, I would say, better than this steel. It's a okay steel, but it's not, I would prefer something else. I don't know how they're heat treating this D2. Obviously, if they're getting it over 60, then it's going to have great edge retention, right? But it'd be nice to see you guys work with, the other like 5 or 6 steels that we see here. Really nice detent there. Yeah. Lot of leverage to flip out a big, almost like shovel drop point blade. Kind of makes me think of the blade on the AD10, definitely, but more robust and actually I think a little thicker. Wow. Okay, big old chunk of D2 on a pretty straightforward, honestly pretty appealing looking flipper. This is a knife that, when I say overbuilt, I don't mean like it's like substantially more durable than the average pocket knife. I mean, once you screw in the secondary stop pin, which is what this is, and you don't have to have this tied up like this, you can just undo it. But once you've got this in there, you guys probably should have, had something on the end of this that made it a little easier to screw in, like, something like this. But anyways, once we've got it like this, well, now even if the lock bar disengages, the blade itself will not disengage. This, I have to stress, does not mean baton mode engaged. It should not, I don't care who you are, this should not imply suddenly that the knife is capable of things far outside of what we typically expect from pocket knives. I made a video a long time ago about the Maxace Vortex, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to go like baton with this thing. I'm going to be really stupid with it intentionally. We're going to put in that pin. And what happened was, because some of the impact pressure was still going into the lock bar, right? The pin doesn't absorb all of it. It's still going into the lock bar. And apparently because the lock bar was cut at 90 degrees, this was an issue apparently with the cut of the lock bar. This caused the knife to break. Despite being double engaged, it caused the lock to break right there where the relief cut was. Now, cutting it in a U shape apparently bolsters this and makes it more durable, but still, even in that case, these knives are not suddenly fixed blades because you've got the pin in there. In my opinion, the only thing the pin is doing is making sure that the lock or that the blade does not disengage even when you are applying unintentional force on the spine. The example I always use is if the blade gets stuck in something and you're kind of having to wiggle it back out, there's a little bit of pressure there on the spine. I've had that happen to me where the knife disengaged during that type of use. Obviously wasn't beating on the spine or anything like that, but it disengaged and cut me. So I do like the idea of the pin in situations where you're just not 100% sure if your folding knife is up to whatever it is that you're doing with it. But I think oftentimes systems like this, people assume the implication is its maximum durability, and then they go out and they test it in absolutely ridiculous ways, like the way that I did with the pallet, right? And then they're disappointed when it doesn't, come out like a superhero, standing in the debris of whatever it just demolished. So that's an old video, but I remember people getting mad at me for suggesting that it never should have done that in the first place. And I still think that. I think if you're going to do that, just use a fixed blade, right? or some tool that's like better suited for it. But anyways, I do think this is neat, and I think people will enjoy this, considering it is probably not going to be a super expensive item. I also really like the combination of OD green with the orange. I think that looks really nice. Big ol' lanyard hole there. We have a space for the pocket clip on both sides. Really high retention, though, on that clip. That's going to be a frustrating clip in and out of the pocket. Really comfortable, though. The jimping is almost decorative. Not a lot of traction right here. But I do like that big spade drop point blade. I think that's kind of cool. Let's see. Is this the one that's all black? Yeah. Oh, the tactical boy. I would hope that these would end up being, it feels exactly the same. I would hope that these, with there being, I mean, like, they're going to be a little more than what CJRB typically charges, like, they're $40 to $45 knives. I expect them to be a little more expensive. I would hope that these are between $55 and $60 maximum. Yeah, I know it's just D2 and G10 and steel. A little bit more D2. I'd say there's about double the amount of D2 that goes into a regular knife. So, if you can say, well, we can get D2 and G10 for $25 to $30, well, there you go. There's your answer, right? Not that the blade accounts for double the price, but I'm saying there's more material in the blade, enough more that it is absolutely going to be a factor. And the G10 is nice. The liners are nice, right? Action almost falls shut on this PVD one, or what I assume is PVD. And then this guy here absolutely is fall shut, mainly because of the weight of the blade. The thumb studs are not very comfortable. 90-degree ledge right there, little bowls, but, okay, not a big deal. If you're wearing gloves, probably very easy to catch your gloves. So maybe that would be the idea here. Outdoor use, maybe a little bit more heavy use environment, but not much. There's that's a little tiny narrow area where you still need a folding knife, but the folding knife needs to be a little more capable than your typical folding knife. Before that transitions to, I need a fixed blade, really narrow, really narrow. I don't have a lot of outdoor experience with knives, but the conclusion that I would come to often, and you can tell me what you think, right? If anybody who's got way more experience than me outside, the conclusion that I would often come to is, if I'm questioning it at all, I'm probably just going to use a fixed blade, right? Just so that I don't slice my finger off, right? It's because I don't want that. Anyways, I think that's going to be it today. This is pretty cool. This is one of the more interesting CJRB unboxings that I've done here lately. A lot of their stuff just has not been interesting, but this is cool, right? Something that we easily could have seen back in 2018, 2019, but it's neat. There's lots of people out there who want a more heavy-duty option and just don't want to pay, hundreds of dollars for it. So that's going to be it. Please make sure you'll get a full review on this at some point. No full review today, just unboxing. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe, because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.